Okay, all right. Well, welcome everyone. This webinar is for appraisers and to help you use Matrix to do your 1004 MC, to do your searching, your exporting of data out of Matrix and into your own Excel spreadsheets for whatever other software that you might have to do, and some tips and tricks and map searching and all that good stuff there. So without further ado, my name is Keith Hensley. I've been doing the training classes here the last couple months for Toledo, and let's jump right in and get started. We do have Lori and Sharon online, so feel free to type in your questions on the far right-hand side because I cannot hear anyone else except for them two, and they will jump in and bail me out if I need to. So, okay. All right, well, here's the matrix system. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is that under the search tab up here, we've got a cross property section. Under cross property, we have this search that you could do. It's called a 1004 MC search. Now, of course, you can do your 1004 MC search by doing any of the other property types here, but this one here is specifically designed to have all the fields that are required in the Fannie Mae 1004 MC search. So just by clicking on that one there, it's going to take you to a cross-property search, and as you can see, we've already got pre-selected property type as residential. And then, of course, you can go in and say single family. And I do want to show you something here while we get started. If every time you do a 1004 MC and it's always residential and it's always single family, and let's even say it's for a certain area or city or whatever you like here. Up here under criteria, map, and results, we got this little gray wheel here to set and lock this criteria. So whatever you have that you'd like to be here permanently for you, just click on that little gray wheel and set that selected search criteria as your starting defaults. Now, the only thing I really picked here was single family because residential was already picked for me. So if I go back into that 1004 MC search, you'll notice single family is already picked for me because I locked it in. So like I said, you can go in and lock in other fields that you always do 9 times out of 10. You'll also notice that we don't have the status field here. We don't have status where you can pick actives and solds and expireds and the date range and stuff like that. This search, like I said, it's meant for the 1004 MC, so behind the scenes, we've already have that locked down for you because you need to have basically all statuses except for like withdrawn and leased, I believe it, or coming soon, I'm sorry. Coming soon and leased, I believe, are the two statuses, and they need to go back within a year, within 365 days. So we have that default search criteria already saved for you and locked down behind the scenes. So all you would need to do is go in and do your search based on whatever parameters that you need to do your 1004 MC search. So for example, if I wanted to do a map search here, let's say a radius search of a mile of my subject property, what I could do here is just say 1 mile and type in 3647 Barcelona, Toledo, Ohio. Scroll over here. Then you notice it picked my 1 mile radius of this. Now I'll come back in, we'll do some more map searching if you've got, because I really like our map searching. So there's all the criteria. I got 196 within a mile of that property on Barcelona. So if I go back here, now what I could do, well, that property is a single story. That property square footage, let's say it's 900 to 1,400 square feet. You know, you're just going to do is I think it's like a 1,300, 1,350 square feet, and it also has 3 bedrooms. So I'm going to go in and say 3-bedroom properties and get this situated as best as I can. And down here, you'll notice I've got 16 matches here. So what I'm going to do is, with that, I can hit the map button and see where these properties are. I can go to results, and see what these properties are. But now I just want to get the 1004 MC report based on these properties. So with this, and if I need to go back and change anything, maybe increase the square footage, maybe increase or decrease the bedrooms, or whatever else I need to do, I can do that. But once I'm satisfied with that search, what I need to do next is select all. Now you'll notice, I want to point this out. I think this is very important to know. When I hit this select all, and by the way, we do have a distance here because I use that radius search. It's showing me how far each house is from that property. But as I select all here, notice I'm only selecting the first 10. Oops, right over here. Check 10. That means because I'm only when I select all here, it's only that page. If I go to the second page, the final 6 listings here, they are not checked here. So I'd have to select that page also. If I go back, I can say none, or I can say all right here. If I say all, now it picks all 16. Let me say none. So if I just pick that right here, that select is not a select all, it's a select all for this page. So I really want to make sure, because I hate for anyone to be back on that first page and select this thinking they got all 16 when they really only got the first 10. So we do have a select all, none, and page right here. After you do that, now I just want to use my 1004 MC reports. Well, in the old system, you always had to export this. And yes, you can still export this out into your own software, and I'll cover that here in a second. But what I'm going to do here is just use the print button. Under the print button, what I'm going to do is, you'll notice down here at the bottom, we already have a 1004 market conditions report already prepared for you. This is something that a lot of appraisers over the years that we had Fusion up, they wanted us to do this. They didn't want to export that information out. They wanted us to already have a report for you. So we've got a summary report and a detail report. So if I have the summary report selected, and by the way, I can email or print this out, whichever way I need to. I'm just going to use prints. It's going to open it up, and it's going to take those properties that I had selected and give me my 1004 MC. In fact, let me zoom out on this a little bit. Here you'll notice that I have my my report that I need with the prior 7 to 12 months, the prior 4 to 6 months, the current 3 to 3 months back, and so forth here for my inventory. So as an appraiser, hopefully that screen, this report looks exactly like what you used to have. Let's go back. Actually, let me close that there. And let's use the detail one. The detail one gives you that same information, the same box that you need. But what this one does, it actually gives you a breakdown of all the actives, expireds, and solds that you have with that criteria in there. So that's the difference between the two. One is just that box with information in there with your stats, and the other is a breakdown of every property type here. Okay. So that is your 1004 MC. It's really that simple. It's really just you doing your search, which I did. In this case, I used the radius search. Get my results, select all of them, or all of them. Now I notice I've actually got the same house in there, okay, active. I don't know on the 1004 if I should include that same property in its own thing or not. You guys are the appraiser, so you guys know, or should know exactly if you can or not here. Now, that's great, let's say, but let's say you don't want to go to print and use our 1004 MC. Maybe you want to export this out and get it into another software program, your ACI program or whatever other programs that you're using. Well, in that case, you just select them all again, but this time you're going to hit export. Under export, you're going to change this format, and you're going to choose the 1004 MC export grid. And this one is already set up to have all the fields that you should need on here. And then what you're going to do here is just hit the export option, and it's going to ask you, do you want to open it or save it? I'm just going to hit open, and it's going to open right up into Excel. with my information here. And just let me kind of make these grids a little bigger here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. So there's my information with all the tabs, all the column headers that I needed. So it just exported right out of the system, and now I can copy and paste this information into whatever spreadsheet or software program that I need here. Okay, let me close this down. I'm not going to save it there. So that's already pre-configured for you. You just hit export, you change this up here and use that one there. But what you could do, like you see up here, I've got one called Keith's view. Okay, what you can do in this grid here, you can create your own columns, your own display views here. So if I don't like this single line view and I like Keith's view better, just by clicking on that, you can see now I've got my stuff and not the stuff that was in the agent single line. So how do you get your own? How do you get your own custom displays here? Well, first of all, if you go up here to the column headers, you can move this around just by grabbing it. If you notice how I grabbed it here with the 4 arrows. That sorts it. So if I click on city, it sorts it by city, or it sorts it by price or address, whichever way you want to sort by. But if I want to move it, get the 4 arrows and just drag it and drop it where I like it at. And that should be very similar to what we had in Fusion, because you could have created your own grids and columns in Fusion also. Now, once I move these around, what I can also do is I can click on a field and remove it. So if I want to get rid of, I don't know, let's say I want to get rid of beds. Not here, don't click there because that's sorting it. Just up above or below, get the 4 arrows and just a normal single click, you can come in and remove that column. Okay. Now if I want to add a new column, maybe I want to add the, I got sold date here, maybe entry dates, maybe pending dates, and I also want to mention this, current price. Okay. What current price means is what it's currently, what the current status is the price. So if these were sold listings, which most of these are solds, the current price is the selling price. That is the sold price here. If I'm looking at an expired listing or an active listing or a pending listing, the current price is the listing price. So that's what current price means here. So what you might want to do here, a good example of what you might want to add to this column here, this grid view, is you might want to add, go down here, click on it and hit insert column, and you might want to add list price. You might want to add sold price. So let's just type in price. Let's add list price. Hold down your control button, by the way. You can pick close price. And if you want to, you can even see what it originally was listed for, the original price. So by picking those 3 here and holding down the control button, you notice now I've got close price, list price, and original price. And then if I grab this, I can put it in the order that I like. Let's see what it started for. So here you can see this sold listing on Lincolnshire was originally at 52.5, last listed at 52.5, and then closed at 45,000. So that's why the current price is 45,000, because it's sold. On this expired, the current price is 54.9 because that's what the last listing price was when it expired, because it never did sell there. So the current price there is that there. And you can also, once you've got your grid columns up here, notice how original list price is kind of long. If I just click on this, I can rename these headers up here and call it OLP and apply it, and call this one maybe just LP. That way I can kind of shorten them. And same thing up here, I can just do it maybe SP for sold price. Something else you can do, you can click on this column header. Oops, sorry. There we go. What you can do an auto fit and hit apply. And it depends on how long that price is or how long the city is, whatever field you click on, you can do an auto fit there, and it auto fits it. And see here it's cutting off Boulevard. So click on this, auto fit it, hit apply, and it'll auto fit it to be exactly the way the length of that column should be there. So that's some customization. And since I added list price and sold price, I may not need current price anymore. So I might want to go back into this one and remove that one out of here. So go in and add all kinds of stuff. Add entry date, add pending date, add sold date, add whatever fields that you like in here. Just remember, it's just clicking on it, going into insert column, and then going down this list and finding all the stuff that you might need to use in your criteria. And you can just start typing in something down here like dates and find pending dates, withdrawn dates, entry date I think should be in here too, right there. And then hit apply, and it adds entry date right there. Okay.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Keith. You have a question.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it to you? Is
Yes, please. Yeah.
You want to check it out?
Yeah, please read it to me.
Can you select the date of when you want the MC report like we could in the old system? So his example is that he did the appraisal 2 weeks ago, but he's just now getting around to the MC. He's got to back that up 2 weeks.
So there, yeah, let's I'll cover that one in just a second here. I might need to, what's the gentleman's name that asked it, or lady's name?
Ken.
Ken, okay.
Ken.
Okay, hold on just a second, and because I want to show you how to save this grid here, and then I'll show you that. I'll see if I can answer that question correctly for you here. So yeah, once you've got this set up, you're going to want to save this. So once you go up here to this manage display here, go down here and save change, save as a copy, and give it your own name. Okay. Oop. So give it your own name and call it my export grid, because maybe that's what you want to export out and save the changes there. So you can go and create as many different grids, columns, displays, whatever you want to call them, as much as possible there. Okay, Ken's question. Let me see if I can open his side thing back up here and take a look at this. And I'm hoping I'm explaining this for you, Ken, as much as possible here. So when I did the search, I'm running it as of right now. So you notice you're correct. The time, the status and the time frame is going back 1 year from today, not a week or two ago, like your question I believe is. So what you'd probably want to do there is go to your search and do a cross-property search, not R1004, because now here you notice you don't have to use that. You don't have to use that. I mean, we don't lock this down. We don't lock down the status here. Now it's up to you. You can go in here and pick all your statuses that you do, minus the coming soons and minus the least. Now yours, you're not going to go back 1 full year, 365 days, because that's going to give you everything up until today and a year back. So in your examples, today is the 17th. So let's go back 1 week, the 10th. So what I might want to do is type in 11, 10, 20, 15, 15 dash 11, 10, 16, if that makes sense to you, okay? And Ken, if you need to, if I'm really off track here, let answer your write a question, and I can unmute you if you want me to, Ken, and then that way I can hear you and you can talk. So if I'm missing this part here, so I'm going to type in 10, or I'm sorry, 11, 10, 15 here. Does this make sense? I'm just going back 1 year from this time period, and that should do that. That should fix that problem, I would assume, here. I did get 11 there, and I did get 11 there. Yeah, so I would just do 11, I would just do that time frame. Let me copy that and paste it. Makes it a little easier here. Paste. Probably do that here too, and do that too, and do that here too. Okay, so it looks like I'm still doing that year back, but I'm doing it back there.
So Keith,
Yes, ma'am.
Ken says he's following you back so far. He's following you so far, he says.
Okay, good.
Let's see, he has another comment.
Okay.
So the MC report will calculate based on the dates searched and not the date it was run.
I'm pretty confident of that because I'm running it off of these dates here. So it's not taking anything up until, anything on November 11th or November 12th shouldn't show up in my results because I'm not searching by that. So yes, that should be based on what my dates are here. Absolutely, not the day I'm actually running. And that's another reason why I'm picking all statuses, not except for leased and coming soon, because I want to know if it's sold or was on the market on those days there. And a listing could now be pending or withdrawn or expired, but at that time frame could have still been on the market there. And that's why we lock those dates down behind the scenes there. So I believe that would give you, I mean, please don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty confident on that. Hope that helped your question, Ken. Paul, you had a question here. When pulling in price searches, can you search for a list price and sale price separately, or is everything jumped together into? Oh, okay. Yeah, Paul, let me answer that question. That's a good answer here too for you. Yeah, we got this field up here, price. So when you're searching by price, no matter if you're using the regular cross property or the 1004 price, or if you're just under regular residential search, when you're searching price, this field is actually called current price, not list price, not sold price. So just and in a way, I kind of almost wish we would call it current price, but I think if we did, that might confuse some people, not knowing what that really means. But for appraisers, I think you guys are smart enough to know what that means is. So current price, like I just explained, if it's sold, that's the sold price. If I search for actives or everything besides sold, it's the listing price. But yes, you can go down here to the bottom and add whatever fields that are missing. So if you want to search by a field here and you don't see it in this list, such as list price and it's actually close price, what it's called, hit add remove fields and then type in your fields that you want to search by price and do close, not current because we already got current in there, and list price. And now you can search it separate here. But I believe the reason why we have this being current price is because now you can search for actives and solds at the same time. Because if you go down here and you search by close price, you probably won't get actives because actives don't have closing price. If you go down here and search for a list price, you will get solds, but you're not searching by the solds off of what they sold for. You're searching for the solds based off what they were listed for or last listed for. So yes, you can still do that there, Paul. But that's just as long as you know or understand that situation. Okay. Thanks, Ken. Oh, you're welcome, Ken. You're welcome. Kathy, how do you search the input date range in the search for Ken? Okay, so you want me to, how did you input the date range in the search? Oh, how did I? Okay. I think Lori did kind of answer that there, but I just manually typed it in. I just put my cursor right there and typed in 11/10/16, or 15 dash, and then I did equals there, dash 11/10/16 there. Could have done that, or there is a calendar right here. I could have opened up the calendar and see these two arrows. The first one goes back 1 month at a time. This one goes back 1 year at a time. So I could have just clicked on the back the double arrows and took me back to this, and then I could have picked November 10th, see right there, and then here's today's date, but I wanted to go back to here and see now it kind of filled it in, my color, from November 10th of 15 to November 10th of 16. So I could have done it that way too. And just to let you know on these dates, when you're typing it in, if you put the date there, you could actually do a plus sign also. Plus sign would give you that date all the way up to the current date as of today there. Okay. Yeah, so Ken, the MC report, I think I answered that. I don't know if that's an old question there. Date searched, this date was run on right. Lori, it is still confusing for you to add status says I already have that. It is, well, I think you meant confusing. You said refusing. For me to add status says already have that. I'm not sure what your question is there, Kathy. Lori, the statistics report is missing data that was available in Fusion. Example, sale price. Will this report be updated? So Lori, I think you're talking about this, Lori, when you go to reports or results, results, and you select this here. I think you're talking about stats down here. If you click on stats and tabular, is this what you're talking about here, Lori? Okay, yes. Okay. Market analysis by area. So by area breaks it down by areas that I have in my list here. What's other stuff? How did I get the list of status date or, oh, that's Kathy's there. Lori, what else is missing here that we had in Fusion? Example, sale price. Oh, yeah. You're right, sale price. I do think we need sale price in here. Well, wait a minute. What I searched for here was active, so I'm sorry. Let me go back and do my search here for actives or for solds. Let's just do solds, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to pick 6 months back on my sold time, single family. I'm going to pick area 002 here. If I go to results here, if I hit stats, tabular, market analysis, I get the list price. Now the current price, that actually should be the sold. Yes.
Excuse me, Keith. So the one right there, it says current price / square foot. That's current price per square foot. So I spoke with our project team this morning, and they're going to be changing that list price to current price on all the statuses.
Okay.
Meaning when they see the current price, if it's in a sold status, that's the sold price.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in a pending status, when it says current price, that's the pending status price.
Right. So these here, there's
okay, so they're going to be changing that list price.
Okay. So there's 244 solds here. So will this part here be fixed then, Sharon, where it says current price per square feet? Because current price, these are sold, so that current price is sold price per square feet right here.
No, I understand, Keith, but the current price is looking at the status. So if it's in the sold status, the current price is the sold price.
Right.
If you would run a search and put the current price in the grid and the sold price in the grid, they would be exactly the same.
Right. Right. So if I have actives in here too, and now I do my stats, I get actives and solds. Right. The current price for the actives is the listing price. The current price for the solds are sold price per square foot. Right.
Right, but what we indicate, so where it says list price, that column where it says list price in every status, that is going to be changed to current price.
Right. Right.
Because
I like that.
If it's in a sold status, it's showing you the current price of the sold.
I gotcha. Yeah, because you don't want to see the stats on the listing price of a sold listing. So if that's current price, then
yeah.
Right.
They just named the column wrong.
Right. Right. So I agree with you there. And Lori, yeah, good point there. Sharon, sold price for list price square ratio, sold price to list price ratio. I agree with her. I think that's something that was there before, and the ratio of the list price to sold price is important, I think. So we'll look at that one too, Lori. Also, I appreciate that. Okay. Real quick, and I'll come back and answer some of these more questions here. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. Hopefully everyone understands how easy it was for me to go in and create my own grid, how I moved things around, how I added things, and then I went up here and I saved it. And then if I save it, like I did here, I called it My Export Grid. Right next to that is that little gray wheel that I can come in here and lock it down as my favorites here as my defaults. So it'll use this grid, not the agent single line grid. I do want to show you this, templates, like search templates. Now that was the grid template, you know, how you can customize that. You can create as many of those as you want out there. But let's say I do a handful of searches all the time. I don't want to go to search residential and constantly, you know, do a search. And in fact, I like to show you the map search when doing this. Okay, so let's say I do a map search, and I want to lock it down because I like to draw my areas because I trust what I draw much better than what I trust listing a realtor with what they type in for the area or zip code or school district, what have you here. I like to do my map searching because you're going to get a lot better, much better results if you do a map search. Well, if you go in from the start and click on map search with no other criteria in there besides actives, well, first of all, you're going to get all these little pins in your way. And even if you back out a little bit, you'll still get some of these little pins, or sometimes it'll jump and give you these balloons. Now these balloons are here for you to, it's telling you there's 268 listings there, there's 89 there, 139 there, 218 there, and if you just click on it, it just drills you down to that neighborhood, and then you can click on that and it drills you down further. But sometimes if you want to draw your shape, you know, your polygon, see up here your polygon or your rectangle or your radius, sometimes those little balloons get in your way. So if you go back to your criteria here, what you could do, a little trick here to get rid of those pins that are in your way, is do a MLS number of 0. If you search for listings with MLS number 0, guess how many listings you'll find? 0. There are no listings with MLS number 0. So now you've got this map with no pins in your way, and now it makes it easier for you to kind of navigate to the location and draw your shape. So we also have this little tool up here called layers. So if you click on that layers option, you can do zip codes, which, see if it's red, means I need to zoom in closer. So let's zoom in a little closer on this. If I go back to layers, now I can turn on my zip code layers. And you can see here now I've got my zip code boundaries for me. I can go up to layers and turn on city boundaries, maybe even turn off the zip code ones. And now I can see my city boundaries, or my county or my school district boundaries. There's my school district boundaries there. Neighborhood. Now neighborhood's only really good for the inside of Toledo itself. Okay, it's more like districts or stuff like that. As out in the country and stuff, you're not going to really have a lot of neighborhoods there. And then flood zones.
Excuse me, Keith. Ken has another question.
Okay.
Ken has another question, and it's quite extensive. So, Ken, I'm going to ask you to type in your phone number, and we will get with you after the webinar if we could.
Okay, yeah, I'm just taking a quick look at it. It's based on dates and current date and not the sale date. Yeah, Ken, yeah, please give them your phone number. Yeah, it does look like pretty extensive there. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ken. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, so you got this boundaries up here, overlays, which I think is really kind of cool and kind of helpful. So let's say I go in here and I'm just going to do a random area. Let's say the Ottawa Hills area. Let's say I do most of my, either it's 1004 MCs or appraisals or whatever I need to do. Let's say I'm always searching this neighborhood here. So if I go up to the polygon, I can go up here and just start clicking and drawing my areas here, or my shape, and I'm just trying to get it around what I think is Ottawa. And just for sake of time, let's say it's like that. Now once I get this, I can come in here and still move this and get this exactly the way I like it. And then I can even get this, and let's say it's up here by the highway it goes, or it stays on Monroe Street there. And let's say Ottawa goes up, well, that's Franklin Park there now, okay? So you can get your map looking exactly right. Well, let's say it might take you 20 minutes to do this map, and you get it right the way you like it. I don't want to have to draw that shape every time, and I'm sure you don't want to have to draw that shape every time. So what you could do is, once you get your map, the shape designed around a neighborhood or an area or a town that you're always searching for all the time, and you want to make it one of your favorite searches, like a search template. Once you've got that shape the way you like it, go back to criteria. Now remember, if you use that little trick with a 0 in there, make sure you take that 0 back out, or else you'll never find any listings in there. So then when you go back to your criteria, and let me take out coming soon and add pending, solds, withdrawn, and expired here, and let's just say they all have the 100 or 365 days back in here. And single family, what I could do is lock this down. So once I've got my criteria, my map shape saved, and I go to results here, I need to save this search. I need to save it. So I come down here and save it as a new save search. I give it a name. I'll call it my Ottawa Hills map. And then I don't need to link it to a client, okay? I just want to enable that as one of my 10 favorite searches on my home page, and that's going to make it like a little search template. So if I save this here, I don't have to keep drawing that shape again, because whenever I have something in that neighborhood with that criteria, I've got a favorite search here. I just click on it. Shows me the results, but if I go back to the map, you'll notice my map is already drawn for me. I don't have to draw that again. Then all I have to do is go back to criteria and enter my single stories, add my square footage, 900 to 1400, add my price, add my beds and baths and stuff here. We'll just say 3 here. And go to results and do my 1004 MC, but my map is saved and it's locked down for me. So hopefully that shows you. And back here on the home page, you can do up to 10 of them. You can do 10 of these favorite searches here. What you can also do when you do a search, if you run out of room and you get 10 of them already done, and you try to save it as a save search and it won't let you make it a favorite search, you can also save it as a speed bar shortcut. So by saving it as a speed bar shortcut, I could give it a name such as Ottawa Hills. You notice it's got to have a slash there and then Ottawa Hills. And then I save it here. What that means, it's a speed bar shortcut. You see up here at the top in the speed bar, and hopefully a lot of you have already know about the speed bar, because that was in our classes, a lot of our training classes the last 2 months. We talked about that. So whenever I log in, all I need to do is do the / Ottawa Hills. Maybe I did the backwards, the wrong / I thought I did the right one. Maybe I just didn't call it the right thing. No, there we go. Okay, Ottawa Hills, and it just pulls it right back up. So that's another little trick or tip. You can save it as the speed bar shortcut there. Also on the map, let's get back into that Ottawa Hills map. don't know if you know this, but you can draw another shape and say, you know what, I don't want listings in here, and say exclude listings there. Okay, what that's really good for is if you're doing a radius search of a property, you can come in here and say, well, I don't want listings here, and now you can start eliminating a certain area. So the red area or the pink area are listings that you don't want listings in. You want listings in that shape, but not in this shape here. Hope that made sense. And you can draw as many shapes that you want on here too, by the way. Let me go to results here while I'm thinking about it. Once you find a property, don't know if this will help you or not, but if you click on the address or over here next to the pictures, see, here's your pictures of the house. You can click on and see. But next to that, you got a map, view map, or if you click on the address itself, it's going to open up the map for you. Once you open up the map, if available, we're going to have this Google Street View up here at the top. See right up here? If Google has been by this neighborhood, you can click on Google Street View and get the street view of that property. And it's going kind of slow because we're on this webinar and you're seeing my screen from my screen to your screen, so there's that little delay there that you're showing you. So there's the street view. Going back to the map though, once you've got the map, you can scroll down and notice the little parcel boundary lines here for each property. What you're going to be able to do is just click on that and see the owner's name and the address of any property that you see in here. And once you see that, then you can click on lot dimensions. Lot dimensions will then give you the lot dimensions and the square footage of that lot right here. And you can click on any parcel and see that, and click on lot dimensions and see that there too. So hopefully that will help you. And then like I said, if you go up to layers, remember the zip code, city, county layers? Well, we also have the flood zones too. You can turn on the flood zone layers. And if that will help you any, let's see the flood zones. Yeah, it's moving kind of slow right now, but yeah, and there's our flood zones. And it gives you the breakdown, the color codes here. Looks like I've found a pretty safe flood-free area out there. Okay. Hopefully everyone knows how to search by street names. Hopefully everyone knows how to use the asterisk. Like if I said Maple asterisk, what does that mean? Let me get rid of my statuses here. Clear my map, that's what's holding me up. If I do the asterisk, that's a starts with. That means I'm looking for a street name starting with map or Maple, but I don't know what it ends with. So if I go to my results, you're going to see Maple Creek, Maple Colony, and stuff like that. Maplewood. If I go back to my criteria and I do my asterisk at the beginning of it, and I get Maple. Now when I go to my results, I get everything that starts with Maple, or well, is Maple, or starts with something else but ends in Maple. So this is an ends with here. So if I go down far enough, I should see like red maple and sugar maple here. If I put the asterisk both sides, asterisk maple asterisk, now it's one way or the other way, or it could be in the middle somewhere. It could be red maple leaf court or lane out there. Something else that I think is valuable to learn, let's say you're searching for a property that's on a county road. Let's say County Road 73. Well, you don't know if it's CO or CORD or CR or maybe even Highway 23. So if you do the asterisk 23, that means you don't know what it starts with, but it ends in 23. So now if you go to results here, you notice you got all the SRs, state routes, county roads, but you also notice I got 223 and 123. So if I go back to my criteria and I do my asterisk space 23, and now I do this, now I don't get the 223s and the 123s, I just get state routes 23s, ST period, RT period, spelled out, not spelled out, US, road 23. I get them all different ways here. We also have the situation with county road L's or county road M's. So if you do asterisk space L, you get county road L, spelled different ways. But the space is very important here, okay? So you need the asterisk space, because if I don't do asterisk space, what do I get? I get things that end in L, like Hill, Mill, Road, Colonial, Maxwell, O'Connell, okay? So the space was very important there. Someone even asked me, what about County Road E-F? Well, asterisk space E-F. And then if I go to it, I get all roads on County Roads E-F. Or M1 or M2, same way. You can get it that way. Let's do M1 real quick here. And there you go, M1. Okay. So that's searching. And if you, also another little trick real quick here, if I know it's Maple Ridge, there's a more button here, I can do Maple Ridge, because some realtors might spell Maple Ridge, someone might spell Maple Ridge, one word or two words. That same thing goes for like First Street. First or First Street, second or second, third or third, 10th or 10th Street out there. Okay. Anything else that I might have forgotten here? I'm trying to look at the questions over here. Joanne, you said I need a north, south, east, and west for the 1004 MC. Can you use the cross property search for the 1004 to show us to the end? We frequently have to use separate dates. You need to use north, south, east, and west for the MC. That's the part I don't know what you're talking about there, Joanne. If I go to cross property 1004, are you talking about east, north here in the street name, or can you use cross property search for the 1004 street and show us to the end? We frequently use separate dates. Yeah, I'm really kind of confused there, Joanne. Sorry about this, but and if you want me to unmute you, Joanne, I can. Does she mean neighborhood instead of MC? I don't know. Joanne, if you got speakers on your computer, I can unmute you and have you talk. Just type that in if you want me to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure about neighborhood instead of MC. Okay. Anyone else while I'm waiting for Joanne here? I'm trying to look at my notes over here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Hi, Mike. So to be clear, to do a 1004 MC for a property inspected on 11/15/16, for example, you would need to check boxes for solds, actives, contingents, and enter 11/15 for the date field range. I would do all statuses except for, let's go back to the residential. I would do all statuses except for coming soon and leased. I would do withdrawn and expired and have them all have that date range in there, Mike. The reason why is because it could now be expired, it could now be withdrawn, it could now be pending, but at the time was it active during those date range, and that's why you pick all those statuses in there to get that in there. So yes, but you are correct on there on your thing, because today's the 17th, but you want to do it from 2 days ago. Yes, so you're correct, Mike. How many save searches can you do in the quick bar? In the speed bar, Ken, you can do as many as you want up there. The problem is, at least right now, you give them a name and you might forget what the name is. Well, if you go under My Matrix and you go to Settings here, you can see all your speed bar shortcuts and what you called them. See, here they all are. See, right now you just kind of remember them, what they are. We're having sometime next year, I don't know if it's going to be early next year or what, but we're going to have an upgrade to matrix here that is going to have like a little drop-down list here that if you created your own list here of names, all you can do is just open it up and you can see your saved one. So it kind of helps remember it for you. So yes, that you can do as many as you want. Joanne, yeah, you did answer, and Mike, I hope I answered your question. Joanne, you said, can you just do the cross-property search and carry it out to the MC sheet for you? Sure, just do a cross-property search. Yeah, just do cross-property search. Does it matter what status I do here? Okay, I'll just leave it like that. I'll go to results. Just make sure, remember, if you hit this select all button, it only selects the first page, which in my case is 10 listings, not all 3,503. I need to hit the all button here to get all. And now, well, and I got too many to do, so I can't use my print button here. Okay, so let's do none here. Let's just do this page. But yeah, I could do up to 2,000 listings at one time. Hopefully you don't need more than that. But just hit the print button. And then you get the 2 1004 MC reports down here at the bottom. Okay, then you can email that or print that off. I'll just do print here, and here's your 1004 MC, and let's kind of zoom out of this a little bit. And there's that. And let me move my things out of the way here. Okay. Joanne, did that help? Did I answer? I hope so. Anyone else? Any other questions? Really hope you guys got something out of this. I hope this helps. Hope you like this. Hopefully you like the speed of Matrix. Hopefully you like it that you can get it on tablets and your phones and all that good stuff. Anything else? Okay. Well, just remember, we're always here for you here at the MLS. Sharon and Lori's excellent to work with, and they'll always be glad to answer your questions. And if there's tweaks or changes, like Lori mentioned, the sold price to list price ratio and stuff like that, sure, yeah. We need to hear that stuff if it's something that is missing. Okay, well, if no one else has anything else, oh, Wayne, I'm sorry, almost missed your question there. Once a search is refined, how do you go back to the unselected? Oh, okay, Wayne, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, and actually I'm kind of glad you asked this because I didn't really show it here. If I just pick 5 houses there, and I go to refine, I can say narrow. Now out of 3,503 listings, I'm only looking at the 5 here. Well, there's 2 ways, and the first way, which is the official way, I wish we had a better solution for you. It's not that it's a bad one, it's just that it's hard to see. Do you see up here where it says narrowed results, original results? Well, right above that, they call it a bird trail, or the oh, I forget, the track, you know, the crumbs, breadcrumbs, there you go. You can see original results right there. You can click on that and it brings back the original 3,503. But if you hit narrow, what you can also do is just use the back button. Hit the back button and pulls you right back to the 3,503 listings there too, okay? You're welcome, Wayne. You notice this, if I select 5 and I hit discard, now I just got rid of 5 listings now, or yeah, 5. Now I'm down to 3,499 matches. Well, the discard button actually has an undiscard button, which brings them all back. So I kind of wish we have an undiscard button. I kind of wish we had an unnarrow button right next to it there. So But that's how you do it, Wayne. Good question. Ken, are there options to tweak the stats search results? I use the neighborhood stats in my market analysis, and it's different than the old system. It doesn't show the same data as I did before. Tweak the stats search results. So you're talking about stats up here, I believe, Ken. I believe. Now you're really getting advanced here for us. What you get here, these are, you're wanting to see the different packages of stat results here.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, ma'am.
Sharon's going to call him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably be something that would be better off handled, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah, Ken. Let's have Sharon talk to you, Ken, and we'll get it that way there too. Because yeah, it is getting a little more in depth here. Good stuff, though. I'm glad you played with this part, because the stats part is kind of a cool part there. Okay. Anyone else? Alrighty. Well, I think we are pretty close to our time there. So I do appreciate it. This has been recorded, and please pass word if someone needs to watch this and they didn't get to watch it here too. Okay. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate your help, Bob, with this. And I think John had a question too, or email to me too earlier too. So I appreciate that help too. All right. Thank you.